Doesn't matter if you have one ass cheek and three toes. I will beat your ass.
This ain't no regular thing. Came for the ring, you know what I mean. I shoot my shot and it's clean. This for my city, yeah, this for my team. If you talking, it's how to be nice.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us once again on One Ass Cheek and Three Little Toes. Anyway,
We're shorthanded. We're shorthanded.
We don't have three toes today. We only have one. So, and I'm sure Robbie doesn't want to be called a toe. So anyway, he can be one ass cheek. I don't care.
We got two big toes. We got one ass cheek and one toe. We're two big toes without the ass cheek.
Anyway, today is Wednesday, the 30th, the last day of April. How about that? We made it to the last day of April. This damn year is flying by. And we really don't have much football news, obviously. It's like the dead period.
Unless you want to talk about Jeff Albrock getting fined for his punk-ass son.
Yeah, we're going to get to that. Yeah, because that's one of the few things in the news. But we do have the playoffs, and both the hockey playoffs and the NBA playoffs, starting with the let me put it this way, the National Hockey League. Doesn't sound the same as the National Football League, but whatever. The Ottawa Senators staved off elimination with an impressive 4-0 win over the Toronto Maple Leafs, bringing the series to 3-2. Linus Ullmark for the Senators made 29 saves for the first playoff shutout of his career. And he was one of the stars, by the way. Chris Tanev, defenseman for Toronto, was another star. And Tim Stutzky. How come I can't never read my own writing? That's pretty bad. He had one goal and 2 assists. I need to write better. Sebastian Ahos. Is that Ahos or Ahos?
Ahos?
You're Ahos.
Maybe, what team does he play for?
He plays for the
Ahoyos?
He plays for the Hurricanes.
Hurricane.
Yeah, Aho. He's an Aho. So Sebastian Aho, one-timer past Jacob Markstrom at 4:17 of the second overtime, sent the New Jersey Devils home. The Carolina Hurricanes overcame a disastrous first period where they saw the Devils take a 3-goal lead. Aho's power play goal at 11:27 of the second period completed the comeback to set up his goal in OT. 3 stars of that game is Sebastian Aho.
Aho. It's
Aho.
It's Aho, man.
Ricky. It's Aho. Aho. What's up, Ricky?
I forgot. I heard his name before.
I'm so
I heard
hockey name. It's not even funny, dude. Anyway, Aho had 2 goals and an assist in the game-winning goal OT. Jason Blake for Carolina had a goal, and Shane Gostaby had 2 goals or 2 assists for Carolina.
Iho. It's Iho. Iho or Aho. Iho. I'm pretty sure it's Iho.
Players in the NHL named Sebastian. What is the chance of
that
happening? That's
he might
weird.
have. He has a brother.
Are they both Ahos or Ihos?
He has a brother, I think. But
both Ahos.
I don't know if his brother plays in the league.
That's freaking hilarious, dude. In OT, Brett Howden scored 4:05 to give the Vegas Golden Knights a 3-2 win and putting them closer to advancing. Brett Howden had 1 goal, and it was a game-winning goal. Jack Eichen had 2 assists, and Mark Stone had a goal. And
there you go. That's a good old American name, but he's Canadian.
Matthias Janmark's goal sends Oilers past Kings 3-1. Edmonton is back on top in the series 3-2 after being in an 0-2 hole. Man, Edmonton is like, you know what? Not today. Matthias Janmark from Edmonton had a goal in a game. It was a game winner. Darcy Kemper for the Kings had 43 of 45 saves, and Evander Kane had 1 goal. You know what? And I did not put what the games are today. I am sorry for that. I don't know what the hell I was thinking about, but we will do that immediately. I mean, we got time. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we don't.
No, you're like, every time you see a regular name, you're like, yes, I can pronounce it.
Right. Montreal and Washington. Montreal's at Washington tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Capitals lead that series 3-1. The Florida Panthers are at the Tampa Bay Lightning, and that is at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Panthers lead the series 3-1, and there's Brett right there. No, it's not Lions. You know, I don't know where that one went.
Lions what? What did you say?
Lions Bashing Show. That's the one that's on before us.
St. Packer
Louis
fans?
Blues. Yeah, Packer fans. Wacker fans. St. Louis Blues at the Winnipeg Jets tonight at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That series is tied at 2 apiece. In the NBA playoffs, Cade Cunningham and the Detroit Pistons fight off elimination with a 106-103 victory. Cade Cunningham had 24 points, 8 assists with help from Asar Thompson with 22 points and Tobias Harris with 17. Anunoby scored 19 points for the Knicks. Anunoby. I'm not a Knicks fan. So
Knicks fan?
Yeah, I'm not a Knicks fan. It's a Knicks guy. I think it's Anunoby. Yeah. 19 points for the Knicks, who were trying to reach the ECS for the 3rd straight season. KAT and Mikal Bridges had 17 points, but Jalen Brunson had his worst game of the postseason with 16 points on 4-16 shooting. Game 6 will be in Detroit, where the Knicks are 2-0 in this series. You know what that is? Jalen Brunson having a bad shooting game is karma. That's what that is.
That's Detroit's best player, huh?
Who's that?
Brunson.
No, that's the Knicks' best player.
That's the Knicks? I thought Brunson played for the Pistons.
No, do you need to watch more basketball?
Yeah. It's barely on TV here. They hate.
Well, it's Pittsburgh. They don't have any football teams, you know. I mean, basketball.
Yeah, Chicago's not on TV.
Yeah, it ain't over yet, Brett. I think it's going 7 now. They messed up. They should have won in New York.
The only games they give us here are the Lakers. They give us the Lakers and the Golden State Warriors. That's it.
The Indiana Pacers eliminate the Milwaukee Bucks yet again this year, 119 to 118 in OT. Tyrese Halliburton was the hero, blowing by Giannis for the go-ahead layup with 1.3 seconds left to close an 8-0 run.
Damn, man.
Halliburton had 26 points and 10 assists. Giannis did all he could to help his teammates with 30 points and 20 rebounds and 13 assists. Gary Trent Jr. of the Bucks had 33 points, and 4 of his 3-pointers were in overtime, but he made 2 crucial game-changing turnovers late in overtime. Cleveland will face the Pacers in the semis. Note, Halliburton, this is the funny part, Halliburton's father, John, sparked a fracas when he ran onto the court. A fracas when he ran onto the court and started talking to Giannis. Dad, sit your ass down. Don't come down here.
Who? Someone's dad?
Yeah, Halliburton's dad came down
Halliburton's dad.
Talking stuff to Giannis. Man, if you don't sit your ass down, Pops. Anyway, the defending champion Celtics close out the Magic 120 to 89 for the series win. Jason Tatum had 35 points, 10 assists, and 8 rebounds. The Celtics didn't win the game with their usual barrage of 3-pointers like they normally do. They were doing a lot of their work in the paint. Orlando, who led by 9 at the half, lost Paolo. That is not Banchero. That's Banchero in the third with – I can't write. The third with 5 fouls. With him being on the bench, the Celtics scored 31 of the next 40 points to open an 83-82 lead Banchero scored 19 points with Franz Wagner, University of Michigan, by the way, scoring 25 points, and Wendell Carter Jr. had 12 points. Brown scored 23 points for the Jaylen Brown scored 24 points for 23 points for the Boston. Boston will face either the Knicks or the Pistons next. And today, the Golden State Warriors will be at the Houston Rockets, with the Warriors leading the series 3-1 at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Minnesota Timberwolves will be playing the LA Lakers at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the Timberwolves lead that series 3-1. What you got in that game? Ooh, that's going to be ugly.
Minnesota's going to close it out.
Yeah, I'm looking at that too.
They're going to close it out.
One more. We did forget one game in the NBA. Jamal Murray dropped 43 as the Nuggets pretty much dominated every quarter but the second versus the Clippers, 131-115. Denver leads series 3-2. LA lost back-to-back games for the first time since March 4th. Murray was 17 of 26 shooting, 8-14 long range. Russell Westbrook scored 21 returning from a foot injury.
He still plays?
Russell Brook still plays. What are you talking about?
He got to be like 38 now.
Yeah, he's old. Nikolai Jokic scored his 21st triple-double, 13 points, 10 rebounds, 12 assists, and Christian Braun had a double-double, 11 points, 12 rebounds. Braun's stellar defense on James Harden, who had 11 points on 3-9 shooting with 4 turnovers. Kawhi Leonard had 20 points. So, yeah, pretty much the Nuggets and the Clippers are going back and forth. You know, it's going to be one of those series.
I forgot all about Kawhi Leonard. Yeah, dude's a beast.
In Major League Baseball, the Astros beat the Tigers once again 6-4. And that sucks because now that's 2 in a row they lost. Hopefully today they're playing right now, as a matter of fact. They're getting ready to start the game right now. The Guardians and the Twins. Guardians win 2-1 over the Twins. Yankees 15, Orioles 3. Yeah, you're not going to like this one. Cubs 9, Pirates 0. Damn.
Yeah, that was painful, bro.
Yeah, Cubs are good, though. Cubs are pretty good, though.
That was painful.
Phillies 7, Nationals 6, Royals 3, Rays 1, Red Sox 10, Blue Jays 2. Good job for the Red Sox. Mets 8, Diamondbacks 3, Brewers 7, the White Sox 2, and I say White Sox. Rangers 15, Athletics 2, Braves 8, Rockies 2, Padres 7, Giants 4, Mariners 5, Angels 3, and Dodgers 15. The Marlins 2. The Cardinals and the Reds were postponed due to weather. And let's see, yesterday in the NFL, the Vikings add 1 year, $23 million to Andrew Van Ginkel's contract at the Minnesota Vikings. Very deservedly so, man. Van Ginkel had 11.5 sacks last season. He was awesome. That dude was, man, I hated that guy.
Miami let him walk.
Yeah, dummies.
No, he was with New England too.
I think he might have started his career with New England.
I think because he went from Patriots, Dolphins, and now Vikings.
And J.J. McCarthy is ready to go and start for the Vikings. Now, the thing that's interesting about that whole situation is the backup quarterback is Sam Howell. I think Sam Howell is going to do a lot to challenge that dude because I think Sam Howell is a quality quarterback. I think he could start, but he's going to be facing competition from J.J. McCarthy. So we'll see what happens with that. That's going to be a very watched QB battle in the months coming up. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it depends on JJ's knee too. If his knee holds up and he makes some good throws.
Mm-hmm.
If he can get in, he's like one of them quarterbacks that got to get into rhythm to be really good. He got to get into rhythm.
And let's see. The Ravens exercised defensive back Kyle Hamilton's 5th-year option. Declined center Tyler Linderbaum's. That's interesting.
Wow, they declined him?
Yeah. That's interesting.
Wow, he was playing good for him. What they, it is what it is. But
Yeah, that's really weird. I don't know why they didn't pick up his option. That's kind of
hey,
talent. I thought he was a really good center. I thought he was been a good center for a while.
yeah, I thought they liked him. That's a weird one.
So Calais Campbell will be wearing number 93 in his return in the Cardinals, with Justin Jones switching to 98. Cornerback Will Johnson and rookie second round pick will wear 0. Drake London's 5th-year option was exercised ahead of the May 1st deadline. And let's see. Yep. Dax Hills for the Cincinnati Bengals. Dax Hills' 5th-year option was exercised ahead of the May 1st deadline.
I hope they keep him forever.
Who, Dax Hill?
Yeah, I hope they keep him forever, man. They play him at the wrong position. He's going to eat alive.
Yeah. I don't like Dax Hill. Dax Hill was one of my favorite corners coming out of Michigan, too.
Yeah.
Disappointing.
They got him playing safety, and like he's still learning the position. I guess he's either still learning the position or he's not very good at the position.
I don't think he's very good at the position, actually. See if we got anybody else. Agreed. If KOC thinks Howell can get him to the promised land, JJ will sit again. I agree. I think that's the best trade that they made. That was an outstanding trade the Minnesota Vikings made for Sam Howell. Thought that was detrimental to that team. Wide receiver Miles Price, an undrafted free agent out of Indiana, has agreed to terms with the Vikings. Speaking of which, defensive tackle Jordan Davis' 5th-year option was exercised, and you guys cut Montravius Adams. I'm sure the reason why you did that because you drafted a defensive tackle,
And he sucked.
I knew you were gonna add that on there.
Like, you know, I him, and I was sad when Ogunjobi went. You know, I loved Larry Ogunjobi, but that dude was not a run stopper. He's not a run stopper. He's him and Montravius Adams are not run stoppers.
Yeah, well, now you got. Do you think you got when you drafted some run stopping defensive tackles? Do you think they replaced them?
My only concern about Derek Harmon was, from what I heard, he had medical issues like coming out. There's his labrum. It was the labrum. I guess that's in his shoulder. I don't know. I'm not no doctor, but
yeah.
And
Derek Harmon is a beast.
The one player I'm most excited for I like Derek Harmon. You know, at first I didn't like the pick, but now I'm getting around to it. Yaya Black, I think that's how you say his name, from Iowa. That dude is he is a monster. He's 6'6", 335 pounds.
Yeah.
That dude is he takes up like the whole middle of the line.
Here's a question that, you hate to be skirting all the time.
I don't know. You tell me, man. I don't know anything about it. You want me to go down the south side right now and ask Steelers?
Ooh, a little bit bitter, man. Come on.
Did he say? What did he say, Fitzpatrick? Bring up that comment one more time.
He said one of the Steelers and the Rodgers going to quit
flirting.
And actually hook up. Yeah, flirting.
You know what? Hopefully on a hot Sunday night, with a bottle of champagne.
Damn. On other NFL news, now comes your time to shine there, Robbie.
Ricky. I like Ricky. Ricky's cool.
The NFL has fined the Atlanta Falcons $250,000 and their defensive coordinator Jeff Elbridge $100,000 due to the leak of rookie quarterback Shadur phone number, and the DC Sun went and ran with it. Yeah, he's an ass whooping for that.
If I had a son like that, like he will need 100 guys to stop me from whooping his ass.
I know that's right. Because you cost me $100,000, dude.
Yeah, $100,000, and
don't ask
he's
me
a DC.
For no money.
He's a DC, so that's like a quarter of his salary right there.
It got to be something of his salary.
Yeah,
so let's see.
But then again, he should have never had his tablet open and his office unlocked. Key that shit.
Well, I mean, you would hope that people would be adults and they wouldn't. He's 21 years old. His son is 21 years old. You think he'd be an adult and not do stuff like that? If you got to close stuff up,
I will let Shador get that one-on-one with my son.
Brent said,
Just search for a dark retreat.
Dark retreat, and you'll find Rodgers. You had to go to the south
There's
side.
lots. Hey, yeah, south side is like where all the dark spots are. It wasn't Shador. They got Tyler Warren. They got McCord too from Syracuse, the quarterback.
Yeah, they had a good draft.
You know what they messed up? They were using their own phones to prank call these dudes.
Yeah, one guy got prank called 5 times, dude. A 5th-round pick. Well, a 6th round. It was a 5th-round pick, but he got called 5 times. Damn, let it go. That's overkill. So here are the
This shit got a burner.
Here are the 10 games that are going to be looked at this year in the NFL. Number 1 is Kansas City at Buffalo. Of course, the schedule hasn't come out, so we don't know when these teams will play, but that's that's ranked number 1 as one of the ones to watch this year. Kansas City and Buffalo. I agree. I think Buffalo's going to whoop their behind this time. They always do during a regular season. It's in the playoffs when they don't do it.
It's one of my favorite games to watch, but not my favorite game I'm looking forward to.
The number 2 ranking is the Detroit Lions at the Philadelphia Eagles. That was the playoff game that nobody got to see, because that would have been pitting the Lions at home versus Philadelphia. But
it's gonna be a tough game for Detroit. It's hard to win at Philly.
If you're Jeff Yurich and your kid did this to you, how would you react, and what would you do as a parent? He's 21 years old, so he's grown. So I really couldn't do too much, but I would kick his ass out the house. He wouldn't be able to come back in for a while.
Or good old-fashioned ass whooping.
Or tell his ass, you get to come in this house with $100,000 that you cost me.
A good old-fashioned ass whooping.
Why don't you prank call $100,000 into my bank account, fucker? That's what I would tell him. He's 21, though. I mean, he's his kid. In essence, our kids are our kids, even no matter how old. I mean, my son is 28. He's still my kid, but damn. Yeah, Mike. There you go, Jeff. Make him fight Ocho.
Yeah, there you go.
That's awesome right there. Yes, that is awesome.
Yeah.
Yep. Belt to ass. Yep. All right, Ricky on the Tigers there. Pena won. You know what? It's fine. Oh, Pena's back. Damn, I didn't know that. Okay, 1-0 Astros. It's nice to see. This real quick with the it's Houston. Sorry, Houston's up 1-0. I thought Pena was back, but anyway, it's nice to see that. If to make him fight Ocho, I think that's the ultimate right there. Because he's 21, he's a grown ass man. Let him fight Ocho, who is older and thinks he can beat everybody's ass anyway. And then
Did he fight James Harrison?
You want to fight for $100,000. That's what you want to do. So if you get a fight for $100,000, you beat me, you get $100,000. You have to get that back to your pops. I think that's fair.
Ocho was supposed to fight not Chad. Ocho was supposed to fight James Harrison during the Super Bowl.
He would have lost that.
They said, I don't know if it took place, but I guess the fight was canceled or something. But he was supposed to fight Debo.
Oh, he would have lost that too. Murder.
I think he got scared and faked the injury. He goes, I can't do it. I ran out of PP.
Yeah. Los Angeles Rams at the Baltimore Ravens. That is number 3. And look out for Rams this year. They might be that team.
Mm-hmm.
They might be that
Rams
team.
versus the Ravens.
Yeah, they almost won. What was it, last year? I think it was, or the year before. It was last year. They almost beat them. And
in Baltimore.
In Baltimore.
Yeah. They got lucky with a field goal, I think, Baltimore. Kickoff return. Kickoff
return for a touchdown in overtime. Yeah.
It was either a kickoff return or a punt return or something. One of those.
Something like that. Yeah. It was either one.
But if it's in LA,
No,
Rams
it's
might.
going to be in Baltimore again. Of course, Baltimore's got to have all those games in there because they
I
don't
don't know.
want to see Baltimore.
Rams got a good team though. Offensively,
Yeah.
they got
Defensively, they got a good team too.
they,
The defense is getting put together really well.
like what they got that Jared First kid. Had that defensive tackle. I don't remember his name. There were
They
two
got
rookies.
they got the
They were the
draft pick from Michigan. So
draft pick from
Josiah,
Michigan.
yeah, that guy.
Yeah, Josiah kid. I forgot his last name. I'm not good with remembering names anymore.
Yep, you're right, Ricky. He is a
The
coach.
only weak point of the Rams defense has to be the secondary.
Yeah, I mean, I think they did draft a couple. Let me see what the Rams drafted this year. I think they did draft a corner.
Did they draft? They didn't draft Eamon Worry, did they? One of the safeties.
Let's see what they had. So let's see what they did with their draft picks.
But Baltimore's just you look at their roster, and you're like, that's going to be pretty tough.
So they got Terrence Ferguson, tight end of Oregon. That was the second round pick. Did they even have the first round? Oh, they traded out of that, didn't they? And let's see. Josiah Stewart, they got in the third round. I think that was kind of a steal, to tell you the truth. And they got a running back out of Auburn, Jarquez Hunter. You got to watch out for him. Somebody said that was a underrated pick. And they got Ty Hamilton from defensive tackle from Ohio State. And they got Chris Paul Jr., linebacker of Ole Miss, round 5. And round 7,
Fitz.
they got a wide receiver.
Brandon Fitz. That's who I was thinking of.
They got they also got Konata Mumpfield, wide receiver from the University of Pitt.
Yeah, he was good in college. Good slot receiver. Yeah, their only weakness is their secondary.
Yeah, they got a steal out of that. Jarquez Hunter. Yeah, he's a dog. I agree with you on that one, Brett. So yeah, I mean the Rams. What is their roster? That's what I really
They got a young secondary. I wouldn't say it's weak, but their secondary is very young.
Yeah, I think they got a couple of good players.
I take that. Yeah, they got Quentin Lake. They got Deion Kendrick.
They got Emmanuel Forbes Jr., who they got AJ Green, Sean Jolly, Darion Kendrick, Cam Lampkin, Kobe Durant. I forgot about Kobe Durant. Josh Wallace, Darius Williams. He came back. He was on there before. And then they got your boy on there, Witherspoon.
Akello. I like Akello, man. I miss that dude.
Charles Woods is the other guy. As far as regular safeties, you got, of course, Quentin Lake.
Carnell Lake's son.
Yep, Carnell Lake's son. Jalen McCollin. Cameron Kitchens. Cameron Kitchens is not bad either. He's not a bad safety. Cam Curl, he was playing most of the season. And Tanner Engel. So I mean, they got a young secondary. A lot of these guys have been there 2-3 years. Let's see what they. So
they did the smart thing. They got the young secondary, and if it works out, it works out. If it don't, then it don't.
Yeah, I mean the only guy that they got two guys that are aged on their defense in the secondary is Darius Williams and Witherspoon. Darius Williams has played 8 years and Witherspoon has played 9. So
the best way to fix a secondary is to make a young secondary.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're right. You called that.
I didn't know Jared First was a linebacker. I thought he was an end or edge. I hate that term, edge.
So continuing on ranking our 10 best games for the season, or so they say. Number 4 is Philadelphia at Kansas City, rematch of the Super Bowl. And again, it doesn't make a difference if it's at Kansas City. I just think Philadelphia's going to whoop their behind. So that's not even. I think Kansas City's going to take a couple steps back this year.
I thought both times they played in the Super Bowl were boring games.
Yeah.
Kansas City.
Number 5 ranked Cincinnati at Buffalo Bills. I mean, offensively, yeah. Defensively, Buffalo's going to kill Cincinnati. Cincinnati has no defense.
You can score points, but you can't stop them. What's the
right?
If you can score it. Let's say you don't get the ball first. You're just going to go point for point with them to the end.
Mm-hmm.
If you keep scoring, if it keeps going back and forth,
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna turn that ball over.
It'll be interesting. It'll be an interesting game to see as far as the offense goes. But I think pretty much Buffalo will take care of that on the defensive side. All you need out of that is just get a couple of stops on Cincinnati, and you can beat them because they're just an offensive team right now. At number 6, surprisingly enough, the Chicago Bears at the Washington Commanders. Now, remember last year, Chicago Bears had that game all but won until Jaden Daniels threw that Hail Mary. Of course, because Tyrell Stevenson, Chicago was out there, going off on the crowd and forgetting his assignment. He had a run back, which he was the victim of that Hail Mary. I think Chicago was trying to get revenge back. But Washington is a better team, just as Chicago is a better team. We'll see which quarterback prevails in this game because that'll be a good game, too. I like to see that one.
Oh, yeah, that was the Hail Mary, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the Hail Mary.
That was the Hail Mary.
That set both those organizations in two different directions that game. Chicago was like pretty good, and then after that they just turned this sucky, and then Washington went up. But let's see, we got on number 1, the number 7 ranked game is Baltimore at Kansas City. Again, I just don't see Kansas City winning that game. That doesn't make a difference. Kansas City's just not good to me this year.
I think it'll be a no biter to the end.
Yeah, if they get the refs involved. At number 8, we got Denver at Houston.
Not feeling this game.
Good. That's a pretty good game. Denver's got half of San Francisco on their team. All the San Francisco people they let go, they got half of them on their team. You got the number 9 ranked game is Minnesota at Seattle. I guess it's going to be the Sam Darnold game because he's playing for Seattle. That'd be pretty funny. You know what would be really funny? If Sam, what's his face, wins out the job in Minnesota and he goes and plays Seattle where he was traded from.
You talking about Sam Hell?
Yeah, Sam. Yeah. No, Sam.
No.
The other Sam.
The other
Sam versus Sam.
The other
Sam
Sam
versus Sam. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got it.
Sam Hell versus Sam Darnold.
Yep.
Oh.
Not Sam Hill. Sam. Why I keep forgetting his last name? Damn. But anyway, yeah, that'll be a good one if that turns out to end up like that. Sam, it's going to be the Sam Bowl. Then we got the last team. No, you're going to love this, Robbie. The last team is Green Bay at the Pittsburgh Steelers.
We got Green Bay. I heard that's going to be in Ireland.
And maybe.
I heard that's going to be in Ireland.
Right now it says at your stadium, so whatever the case may be. But considering the fact that really you're going to be playing against another receiver that the Green Bay got in Golden. Then they got Golden. So
yeah.
But you guys got Derek Harmon. Your defense is beefed up. You got Darius Slade, Joey Porter, and Mika Fitzpatrick in the back end. I mean,
it's set up for Aaron Rodgers to sign right here because we're playing Green Bay.
Yeah, it is, ain't it? All right. So the Detroit Tigers take a 2-1 lead over the Astros with a Colt Keith homer. All right.
That's what the NFL's hoping for. That they're hoping for Aaron Rodgers to sign because they'll put that game on a Sunday night or a Monday night.
Yeah.
If Aaron Rodgers don't sign, that game's going to be in Ireland.
So, who do you think the Eagles should host in Week 1, considering the fact that they're probably the first team to play on Thursday? They'll probably
Who do
play
I
the
think?
Thursday.
I think you already know my answer.
Who, Lions?
Lions. You got to give them that tough opponent, man. That Lions. Last time Lions played a Super Bowl champion, they beat them on opening night.
Yeah,
that was Kansas City.
Golden is going to be pretty good. We hope. I hope not, but from what I've seen, he's pretty good. And let's see. Yeah, most of the incumbents say that it'll be Detroit playing them in the first game of the season, which would be good. I'd rather Detroit play them in the first game of the season than the fifth or the sixth game of the season.
They said what teams did the Eagles play this next year? Like they got the East, right?
You got the NFC North, so they play everybody in the North. They play their own division.
They might have the AFC East.
Eagles schedule. No, I don't think they have there. I don't think they have that schedule. Let's see. Come on. Hey. Yeah, that's what I'd say to the Lions. Come on.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now.
I got it. Okay, so
they got the East. They play the AFC East. Can't be the Bills because they're playing the Bills at Buffalo.
Oh, you got Buffalo. Oh, no, I just play Buffalo. They don't have the East. They just play Buffalo.
No, it can be the Lions. More likely, it'll probably be the Lions. They got Chiefs away.
Looks like they play the West. That's who they play because they got the Chargers, Kansas City, Las Vegas, and the Broncos. That's an easy ass schedule, man.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be the Lions.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think the Lions can go into Philly because Lions got that offense. They can pass. Eagles can pass the ball. Eagles can control the ball with the run game.
Sound like Robbie's becoming a Lions fan. Shit.
No, the only question mark I have on the Lions is can they hold the Eagles defensively? That's what I would question. Can the Lions hold the Eagles
hold
defensively?
The offense? You mean hold the offense down?
Hold them, like you not stop them, just hold them, because the Eagles' offense is pretty damn good.
Yeah, he's got the run. I mean, that's why they got that big guy in the middle. And
I don't know, bro. When the Steelers played
healthy by the time we play him.
When the Steelers played the Eagles last year, we stuffed their run, but they beat us through the air.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Jalen Hurts, man.
They controlled the clock because they were throwing little crosser routes that we couldn't stop. Because Steelers were playing a Landon. Don't get me wrong, I love a Landon Roberts. He's a great run-stopping middle linebacker, but when it comes to stopping the pass, he's not that dude.
I think the Lions are more than confident to let Jalen Hurts beat them rather than the Saquon or anybody on the run game.
Yeah.
Like they're going to try to stop the run first and foremost.
But more likely, it probably will be the Lions that gets that opener against the Eagles.
No, I
would figure that.
Who else could it be?
It's going to be a shorter week for them because they have to play the Hall of Fame game.
Yeah, but the Lions starters won't play in that.
No, that has nothing to do with it. That's the first game of the season. It's got nothing to do with that.
Right, but they have to prepare before. They have to prepare before everybody else for that game.
You know, it could be It could be the commies. It could be
Philadelphia
the
has to
Lions.
too. I mean, it's the same. It doesn't make a difference.
No. I'm saying the Lions aren't going to get that game because the fact is they have to prepare a week before everybody else for that Hall of Fame game. I don't see them getting the first game, which is a shorter week too. I mean, I'd be shocked if it is, but I doubt it. I doubt it will be.
I won't be shocked if it is. That's the incumbents with what most of the people are saying anyway. And that'd probably be the best game. What are you going to play? The Commanders? They played them twice anyway during the regular season.
It's going to be the Commanders. I almost bet you it will be.
Who you take?
I'm taking
the
the Lions.
I think it's going to be the Lions. It could be 3 teams here.
I mean, I don't want to play in the first game because we don't have Mac.
Jeff, you're right on that. They did control the line. That's why we built.
I don't want to play them. I don't want to play them in the 5th game, in the 5th or anything past the week 5 because they're going to have their feet in the ground then.
Well,
Philadelphia starts off kind of not great in the beginning of the season. That's when you want to play them.
By week 2 or 3, Mac should be back. He's going to miss the first 2 games more likely.
That's all right. We're going to have Tyreek Williams in there, so it don't make a difference.
I got to narrow down the 3 teams that can have the opener, and that's the Cowboys, Commanders, and Lions. But I think it's going to be the Lions.
I don't think so.
Yeah, the Cowboys definitely won't be the first game.
Probably be Cowboys.
It ain't going to be the Cowboys.
Yeah, they'll probably do it just because they're the NFL will probably do it just because it's the Cowboys and they need the prime time.
Cowboys will be a bigger draw on the opening day.
Not over the Lions. No, the hell they won't. You're talking about the. I don't care about the fan bases. That's not going to be a bigger draw.
Fan bases equal ratings.
Dude, if I was a Lions fan, I would want the Eagles.
Nobody watches Dallas no more.
What better way to start off the season?
You're thinking about the franchise itself, but the fans don't care about that team no more. Everybody fucking watches Houston now. They don't watch Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys and them mess themselves up.
Not here. It's still Cowboy country, bro. No matter how bad the Cowboys could be 0-17, they'll still be fucking watching them. It's the Cowboy. Well, it's a brand.
It's gonna be the Lions because nobody wants to watch the Dallas Cowboys versus Philadelphia.
Cowboys got that Jerry Jones money.
That's the only thing Dallas has got. It's gonna be a Lions.
Yeah. Like Jeff said, they controlled the line against us last year. That was just like an embarrassing game to watch if you're a Steelers fan.
Yeah, it's gonna be the Commanders. I'm telling you, whether you like it or not, it's gonna be the Commanders.
It's gonna be Detroit whether you like it or not. How about that?
Everybody wants Detroit because they already seen the Commanders get smashed by the team. In the NFC Championship game in Philly.
NFL might want to make a rematch scenario for NFC Championship game. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, they didn't do it last year. They could have did a rematch last year, and they chose to opt out on that shit.
Yeah.
Don't they
actually they did do a fucking rematch. I'm thinking 2 years ago.
Well, that was the Lions.
I'm thinking of 2 years ago when they did the Lions versus Kansas City.
Yeah.
Nobody expected Lions to go in Kansas City and beat them.
Well, I did.
I'm not saying we can't do it.
I picked Detroit. Everybody else was picking Kansas City.
And that's why I want Detroit to play Philadelphia first because Philadelphia is coming off a Super Bowl, so it could be a little bit of a hangover. They traditionally start seasons kind of slow anyway. I'm not saying that they're not Cincinnati slow, but they are slow. They can lose to. I mean, hell, they lost to Atlanta last year. Atlanta's not a good team. They lost to Tampa Bay, and they got blown out by Tampa Bay. And that was in the first 4 games of the season. They got blown out by Tampa Bay. They didn't ever beat Tampa Bay. I don't know what the hell it is with Tampa Bay and Philadelphia, but they can't seem to.
Right, they don't start very well.
Yeah, they don't start very well. And the Lions need that. They need something. They need because they're gonna be raring to go because they want to prove to everybody just because we changed offensive and defensive coordinators, our team is still one of the best in the league. So they're gonna come out, powered up. And that's what I want to see them do. And Amon St. Brown was like, yeah, I think we need to play them first. So,
hey, if he wants them, I want to see that matchup. I think that would be more entertaining than seeing the Commanders versus the Eagles.
I think we're probably going to play the Eagles Monday night or Sunday night.
No, we're playing on first game of the season, Thursday night.
I'll bet
first
you.
game. I'll bet you.
I'll bet you how much.
$5. $5.
$5. All right, I'll take $5.
$5.
$5 whole dollars.
$5 whole dollars. Hey, that's a happy meal on somebody's side. Anyway,
Maybe.
You wish. You wish that's a happy meal.
Shit.
Tariffs hit,
menu.
son.
Dollar
The tariffs hit. They're $8. They're $8 now. Tariffs hit.
Okay, so let me see here. There was one thing I wanted to put here. No, we're not in the AFC. I need to be in the AFC real quick here. So Robbie, I'm gonna have you respond to this and what they say that the Steelers. So your boxes checked for the Pittsburgh Steelers during the offseason so far. You passed on Shedeur Sanders to fortify the defensive front with defensive tackle Derek Harmon, good pick, at 21 overall, adding youth to an older defense while giving Harmon a chance to learn from Cameron Haywood. You added Khalib Johnson to replace Najee Harris, another good pick, and you traded for wide receiver Derek Metcalf. What you still need to do, according to them, is finally wrap up the QB1 situation with Aaron Rodgers or someone else.
We need to fill. Ain't no secret. We need to fill general.
There's no
You know
there's
what I'm
no
saying?
one else.
It's I do have faith in Mason Rudolph. As much as people talk shit on him, he has a big arm and he can get the ball downfield.
Nate.
So Robbie,
Like,
I don't know if you like this news.
If you ever see Mason Rudolph, Mason Rudolph's problem is you can't blame. He played for the Titans last year. Anybody can suck with them.
So I don't know if you're gonna like this news, Robbie, but apparently one of the beat writers for the Pittsburgh Steelers said that they were never interested in Shedeur. That they're kicking the tire. They're kicking the tires.
I moved on. I moved on with that.
Hey,
You go back and watch that now. He was too flashy. Like, I like Shedeur, but come on, man. Like, you're celebrating a 5th round selection with a rap party of your own for your family and stuff. Like, come on, man. That chain
he's
he was
excited to
wearing.
be drafted, man. I'm not mad about
I would be depressed if I got drafted by the Browns.
Well, whatever. The Shedeur situation is like gone, so it don't make a difference. You didn't get him, so fuck it. Anyway,
Yeah.
But you do have Will Howard, and Will Howard is considered one of the better quarterbacks in this draft. And if he challenges
Will Howard
Mason
can beat out
Rudolph, if he challenges Mason Rudolph and Howard wins, do you see that? Do you think that might happen there, Robbie?
I do, but like, this isn't the Steelers. They got a problem starting rookie quarterbacks, but I would start him. He got one thing on Mason Rudolph, and it's a key thing to his game, and it's mobility. Mason has no mobility.
And
if you don't protect Mason, he's dog meat behind that line.
Yeah. And Will Howard played with good receiver at Ohio State. So
Will Howard, everybody thinks he's
good receivers there now. So
everybody thinks he's a pocket passer, and like, no, that kid he has mobility, but a big arm.
But he's not crazy athletic, but he can move a little bit.
Mm-hmm. He ran a 4.7. That's the same as Josh Allen in the 40.
Yeah, he can move to get himself out of troubles and situations, and that's why that's the kind of quarterbacks I like. Just enough athleticism to move him out of the pocket and either run with it to get a first down or some crucial yards, or be able to move the pocket as well. So I mean, I'm not a big this is why I don't like these athletes like Lamar Jack. I'm not really big in that. They may be exciting to look at, but at the end of the day, what have they won? Not a damn thing. Lamar Jackson hasn't won nothing. He's been in one playoff game. He ain't won nothing.
Josh Allen can't get past the Chiefs.
And everybody goes, oh, well, you would rather have Lamar Jackson than Jared Goff. I said, no, the fuck I wouldn't, because Jared Goff is a proven winner. Lamar Jackson hasn't proved nothing to me yet.
Yeah.
So I mean,
they can't get past the Chiefs. Neither can Josh Allen.
I'll say this: if Will Howard doesn't beat out Mason Rudolph, you just might as well just cut Mason. Will
you
Howard.
know what? He could beat Mason Rudolph out. The sad part of this is, like I said before, the Steelers are not a fair starting rookie. So even if Will Howard outplays him like minicamp or training camp, they could still go with Mason Rudolph because he's a vet.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Even though he got beat out, let's say we'll probably will beat him out. But they'll still go with Mason Rudolph.
So moving down to the Detroit Lions in the same area, the boxes that they said were checked were short up their interior defense with Tyleek Williams. Yep. Added to one of the league's best offensive lines with Tate Ratledge and Miles Frazier. Yep. And add to the wide receiver room, Isaac Telsa and Dominic Levet. I don't think Levet, he's going to be a special teamer, though.
Yeah.
Still to do is find an edge rusher. Do we agree on this?
What's the question?
Who's Vanillatron? That's Tesla, right?
Yeah, Detroit doing Detroit. That's Vanilla. Yeah, that's Vanillatron.
Vanillatron.
Detroit still to do is to find an edge rusher. That's what they're saying.
I mean, they could bring in a vet. If they don't bring in a vet, then I'm okay with Mohammed starting and Ahmed being behind him, and Pascal and maybe even Levi playing that end too. Now that you got Williams,
They could bring back Zadarius Smith.
they could.
I mean, yeah, that would be optimal.
That would be
I'd rather have
ideal.
that.
That would be ideal.
Yeah,
we don't have to bring it back.
yeah. Everybody's saying, oh, because they drafted they got a UDFA of his nephew that's a sign of him coming back.
I'm just making mountains out of molehills.
It's just rhetoric to me.
Yeah.
At this point, I think what it is right now is that he's going to be looking for teams that are interested in a space to fill if they didn't address it during the draft.
I'll say this, B. I think that actually Levi could play more in this year than he's probably ever played before, because the fact is that if Williams is good as he is, when Mac comes back, Williams is going to have to be on the field. We can all agree on that. He's going to have to be on the field, and if he's playing well, he's going to be on the field. So they're going to have to move Levi to an end position because that's where he's going to be able to get more snaps. And he played in last year, and I don't know how many snaps he played last year at end, but I think he's going to have a higher role in the end for Detroit because the interior is just clogged with dudes. You got Roy, you've got Reeder, you've got Mack, you've got Williams. You're too deep at those two tackle spots.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where Levi's gonna have to make his thing on the inside. Maybe he loses weight and
it depends on what they do in the off season with the ends that they have, like Pascal.
Yeah, still got Pascal.
You still got Bodrick Martin as a defensive tackle. So I mean, these guys got to pan out during the off season. During not the off season, but during training camp, or else they're going to be looking for the door. I really think about this time.
You have too deep at the tackle spots right now. With Liam being healthy, that's the thing. He'll be back like week 2 or something, or week 3.
No, he's supposed to be coming back in November. Aleem.
November.
Yeah, that's what they're banking on right now. Yeah, he's going to be out for a while. But that's the reason why the Tyleek Williams draft pick was important for Brad. I'm sure he would probably try to get more. Yeah, there's going to be a lot more line bits. Because he's going to definitely be using them linebackers. He was a linebacker, so he's definitely going to be doing that.
Yeah, look for Derek Barnes possibly be in positions too.
Mm-hmm. They're going to use all their linebackers.
When did Matt get hurt?
He got hurt the second from, was it the last game of the season? It was the last game of the season, I think he got hurt.
I thought it was Buffalo he got hurt.
It might have been Buffalo.
Yeah, it might have been Buffalo because we played without him for like 2 games. 2 or 3 games.
But regardless, he's going to be coming back a little later than what everybody thinks he is. Everybody can, we got Tyleek so he can do the first. No, he's going to be out longer than that, bro. But I mean, their edge rusher situation, I mean, whatever.
We got bodies. We just need somebody to pop. That's all.
What, Buffalo? What about Buffalo, Brent? Oh, yeah, it was a Buffalo game. Okay.
Yeah, Buffalo game. So we lost Alex and we lost Mac that game.
Oh, the Buffalo game last year.
Yeah, that's right, because that's when Alex broke his arm.
Yep.
Yeah, so it'll take a time. I mean, I think the earliest will probably be October for McNeil to come back, but they're putting penciling in November. So I would say between October and November he'll be back.
So maybe like week 5.
Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
Oh, you're fine.
Yeah. Like I said, we got bodies. It's just a matter of where these bodies are going to go.
Were you at home?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, no. Yeah, I got home, yeah.
Oh, okay. Would you take a half a day off?
Kind of, sort of. I'm tired, man. I just took a break. I feel like I'm done with the day. The weather just sucks over here. It's like all dark and cloudy.
Yeah. It's nice here. It's just not warm like it was yesterday. Yesterday was 80. Now it's like 55 degrees outside. At least the sun is out. Jesus. I hate this damn weather, man.
Hey, we got 5 minutes, so gloat about your Pistons.
I'm not going about nothing.
Shit. One of the Jets quarterbacks retired.
One of the Jets quarterbacks retired.
Second-year quarterback Jordan Travis has informed the team that he will retire.
Yeah, he had a really bad injury in Florida State.
Yeah, in consultation with the medical experts. Yeah, so he had to retire. Yeah, that's what it looks like. I just got that on NFL. Just popped up as you said it, buddy.
Were you surprised that the Pistons won?
Didn't even know.
Yep, I sure the hell was. I was surprised that Brunson had such a bad game. I was like, damn,
and
dude,
Cat.
you suck.
And Cat. Well,
Cat was okay, but
Sir Thompson played really good defense.
Brunson was averaging like 33 points a game.
Yeah, Sir Thompson played really good defense on him, and he was good offensively too.
And just to let you guys know, the Tigers are up on Astros 3-1. Don't count your favors though, because although they got bases loaded right now, so we'll see what happens.
I hate the Astros. I hate the Astros. Go Tigers.
And
Well, Pirates don't play till tonight. Thank God. I'm not watching it.
But anyway, we're gonna wrap up the show there, and just to let you know, we got three up, 2 more to go, and tomorrow's gonna be the same as the countdown begins to the end of the daily show. Man, Wise Broski says two rookie online are going to break into the top 5 online that lost the position. Broski says, well, I mean, he's a Chicago fan. What else is he going to say? You know, I deal with it.
Bears fan, keyword.
They love every pick from the first to the second.
Bears fan. Bears fan, keyword.
The Bears. Okay.
Aaron Rodgers is going to sign. We need him.
Everybody, live life to the fullest. And we'll see you back here at 2:00 tomorrow, Thursday, the 1st day of May.
Stay classy, Whackers.
9 days to my birthday.
Whackers. There you go. All right.
And screw the Bears.
Yeah. Have a great day, everyone. Brett says. You too, Brett. Thanks for being on, brother.
Thanks for tuning in to the show. Join us on YouTube, X, Instagram, and TikTok under 1 Chief 3 Toes.